Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the midday news. The headlines. 13 CRPF and police personnel injured in IED blast by Naxals in Saraikela, Kharsawa district of Jharkhand. Supreme Court refuses to direct UP police to conduct further probe in 2018 Hapur lynching case. Birth anniversary of freedom fighter Veer Savarkar being celebrated today. In the Maldives, former President Mohammad Nasheed unanimously elected as Speaker of new Parliament. India to take on Bangladesh in final warm-up game of Cricket World Cup at Cardiff in a short while from now. And in French Open tennis, Rohan Bopanna to begin his doubles campaign today. Thirteen personnel of the Central Reserve Police Force and the State Police were injured in an IED blast triggered by Naxals in Saraikela, Kharsawa district of Jharkhand in the wee hours today. Talking to AIR News, Director General of Police D.K. Pandey said the blast took place when a joint team of the CRPF's Special Jungle Warfare Unit Cobra and police were carrying out a joint operation in the forests of Kuchai area.
चुनाव के बाद वहाँ पे ऑपरेशन लॉन्च हुआ है और इस ऑपरेशन में आज मॉर्निंग में रेयरिंग पहाड़ है, वो पहाड़ के ऊपर जब फोर्स क्लाइम कर रही थी तो वहाँ पे लगभग 50 to 60 एंटी पर्सनल लैंड माइन सीरीज में लगी हुई थी जो ब्लास्ट करी, इंजर्ड थे, उनका इलाज चल रहा है.
Our correspondent reports that the area has been cordoned off and a search operation is on to nab the culprits.
Police has mounted retaliatory action and combing operation after today's blast at Kuchai jungle of Saraikela in Jharkhand, in which 13 Jawans were injured. Some of them are serious. They had been airlifted and now are being treated at a hospital in Ranchi. This area of Kuchai has seen 3 attacks by Naxal within 1 month. Rajesh Sinha, AIR News, Ranchi.
The Supreme Court today refused to direct the Uttar Pradesh police to conduct further probe in the 2018 Hapur lynching case. A vacation bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi said the trial court would decide the plea for seeking further direction to the state police to file supplementary charge sheet after conducting further probe in the murder case. The bench was hearing a fresh interim application filed by a relative of the deceased in which it was submitted that further probe was needed in view of revelations made by 2 brothers of the slain meat exporter Qasim Qureshi in their statements. Declining the plea, the bench asked the petitioner to approach the trial court, which will take a decision in accordance with the law. The state government had earlier informed the Apex Court that it had filed a fresh status report on investigation in the Hapur lynching case. India has invited the leaders of the BIMSTEC member states for the swearing-in ceremony of Mr. Narendra Modi as the country's Prime Minister for a second term on Thursday. The External Affairs Ministry said invitations have also been sent to the President of Kyrgyzstan, Sooronbay Jeenbekov, who is the current chair of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth, the chief guest at this year's Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said this is in line with the government's focus on its neighbourhood first policy. President Ramnath Kovind will administer the oath of office in secrecy to Mr. Modi and other members of the Union Council of Ministers at a function in Rashtrapati Bhavan at 7 p.m. on Thursday. UAE Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed spoke to Mr. Modi over phone today to congratulate him on his party's election win. The Crown Prince said he looks forward to working together to deepen the strong ties between the two countries. He wished India and its friendly people more development and prosperity. Thanking the Crown Prince for his invaluable friendship and good wishes, Mr. Modi said he looks forward to further enhancing India-UAE relations for peace and prosperity. The Prime Minister met former President Pranab Mukherjee in New Delhi today. After the meeting, Mr. Modi said meeting Pranab Da is always an enriching experience and his knowledge and insights are unparalleled. The Prime Minister said Mr. Mukherjee is a statesman who has made an indelible contribution to the nation. Congress President Rahul Gandhi met party leaders Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Ashok Gehlot, Sachin Pilot and Randeep Singh Surjewala in New Delhi today. The meeting came after Mr. Gandhi had offered to resign from the post of party president following Congress's defeat in the Lok Sabha elections. Reportedly, Mr. Gandhi has refused to go back on the decision that he conveyed to the party at the recently held Congress Working Committee's meet. Our correspondent reports that the party's top decision-making body is expected to meet again this week. In Arunachal Pradesh, the stage is set for the swearing-in ceremony of Pema Khandu as the Chief Minister of the state for a second term tomorrow. Our correspondent has filed this report.
A grand swearing-in ceremony of the first BJP government with full majority in Arunachal Pradesh will be held at Dorji Khandu State Convention Hall in Itanagar tomorrow. Pema Khandu will be sworn in as the Chief Minister of the 10th Legislative Assembly of the state. It is expected that Mr. Khandu's Council of Ministers will also be sworn in on the occasion. The state cabinet in Arunachal Pradesh has a strength of 12 ministers including the Chief Minister. Rakesh Dole, AIR News, Itanagar.
Biju Janata Dal BJD leader Naveen Patnaik will take oath as the Odisha Chief Minister for the 5th time in a row tomorrow. The swearing-in ceremony will be held at the IDCO exhibition ground in Bhubaneswar. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The invitees include Prime Minister Narendra Modi, important leaders of different political parties in Odisha. Over 7,000 people are expected to attend the ceremony. Meanwhile, hectic lobbying has started among the newly elected assembly members to get a slot in the ministry. Party sources said the ministry will be a mix of experienced and newly elected legislators. For the first time, the ceremony will be held outside the Raj Bhavan. SN Patnaik, AIR News, Sambalpur.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Swatantra Veer Vinayak Damodar Savarkar's birth anniversary is being celebrated today. Born on this day in 1883 near Nashik in Maharashtra, Savarkar was popularly called Veer Savarkar. He was a revolutionary who fought against the British government. In a tweet, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said the nation will always remember the sacrifices made by Veer Savarkar during the freedom struggle. Mr. Modi said Veer Savarkar epitomizes courage, patriotism and unflinching commitment to a strong India, and he inspired many people to devote themselves towards nation building. BJP President Amit Shah also paid tributes to V.D. Savarkar. On the occasion, a function to pay floral tributes to him was held in the Central Hall of Parliament House today. A host of political leaders offered floral tributes at Veer Savarkar's portrait. BJP leaders, including L.K. Advani, Sumitra Mahajan, Vijay Goyal, Prakash Javadekar, Subramanian Swamy and Arjun Ram Meghwal were among those present. In Uttar Pradesh, 6 people were killed and many are under treatment after consuming spurious liquor in Barabanki districts today. Inspector General Law and Order Praveen Kumar Singh told AIR that the people consumed liquor from a licensed shop in Raniganj village. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed officials to take stern action against the guilty. He has also asked Principal Secretary Excise to conduct an inquiry and take action against those responsible. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has taken serious note of the incident and directed officials to take stern action against the guilty. The Chief Minister has asked the Principal Secretary Excise to conduct an inquiry and take action against all those responsible for it. Excise Minister Jai Pratap Singh said that taking action in the tragic incident, District Excise Officer, 1 Inspector Excise, 3 Head Constables and 5 Excise Constables have been suspended. IG Law and Order Praveen Kumar Singh said that Police Inspector of Ramnagar Police Station and Circle Officer have also been suspended. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Rajasthan, 10 people lost their lives and 6 were injured in a road accident near Jodhpur. The accident occurred near Agolai village last night when 2 high-speed jeeps collided. The injured have been admitted to a hospital in Jodhpur. 18 to 20 people were travelling in the 2 jeeps. In Telangana, 18 people have lost their lives due to heat stroke and related health conditions during the current season. State revenue officials told AIR News that the maximum 9 deaths occurred in Karimnagar district during last month and this month. Heat wave conditions continue to prevail in the state. Our correspondent reports that the Met Office has forecast that heat wave conditions will continue till Friday.
Several parts of Telangana state reeled under heat wave conditions for weeks together during the current season. State Disaster Management Department is implementing through districts a heat wave action plan to reduce the impact and face heat wave challenges at the ground level. A massive public awareness program about the do's and do nots during the heat wave conditions is also underway. The state government has made all arrangements for paying 50,000 rupees financial assistance to the families of the heat wave victims, those who are below poverty line, under Aapat Bandhu scheme. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
3 women Indian Air Force officers were part of the country's first all-women crew to fly a medium-lift helicopter Mi-17 V5 yesterday. A defense release said the all-women crew flew the helicopter for a battle inoculation training mission, taking off and landing from restricted areas at a forward air base in Southwestern Air Command. A report.
India's tri-services have never failed to impress. 3 women officers of the Indian Air Force made history as they became the country's first all-women crew to fly a medium-lift helicopter. Flight Lieutenant Parul Bhardwaj was captain, Flying Officer Aman Nidhi was co-pilot, and Flight Lieutenant Hina Jaiswal was flight engineer of this historic flight. Flight Lieutenant Parul Bhardwaj hails from Mukeria, Punjab, and is incidentally the first women pilot to fly the Mi-17 V5 helicopter. Flying Officer Aman Nidhi hails from Ranchi and is also the first women Indian Air Force pilot from Jharkhand. Flight Lieutenant Hina Jaiswal hails from Chandigarh and is the first women flight engineer of the Indian Air Force. Anshuman Mishra, News Desk.
In the Maldives, former President Mohammad Nasheed has been nominated as Speaker of the new Parliament, or Majlis, which will hold its first sitting today. Mr. Nasheed, who leads the Maldives Democratic Party MDP, was unanimously elected Speaker by its newly elected MPs last night. MDP had won a record 65 out of 87 seats in parliamentary elections held last month. More from our Colombo correspondent.
The nomination of Mr. Nasheed as Majlis Speaker came all of a sudden, as there was no consensus on any other candidate before the meeting. 2 MPs considered as strong contender for the post proposed the name of Mr. Nasheed, who accepted it after initial hesitation. His nomination is important as he led NDP to victory in parliamentary elections last month after his return from exile last year. Mr. Nasheed has also talked of bringing parliamentary system to Maldives, and his role as Speaker will be interesting in this regard. MDP has won almost 3/4 majority in parliament, which is required for constitutional amendment. Santosh Kumar for AIR News from Colombo.
In cricket, India will take on Bangladesh in their second and final warm-up game of the ICC World Cup at Cardiff in a short while from now. The match will begin at 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In their opening warm-up game, the men in blue had lost to New Zealand by 6 wickets at London. India, second behind England in the ODI rankings, will start the tournament among the favourites alongside the hosts and defending champions Australia. Team India, which had won the tournament in 1983 and 2011, will begin their campaign in the tournament proper against South Africa in Southampton on the 5th of next month. The opening game will be played between England and South Africa in London on Thursday. In tennis, India will begin its doubles campaign at the French Open, the second Grand Slam of the season and the only major played on clay, in Paris today. In the opening round, Rohan Bopanna and his Romanian teammate Marius Copil will take on the South African Kiwi pair of Raven Klaasen and Michael Venus. The underpays, David Sharan and Jeevan Neduncherian, with their respective partners, will play their first round matches later. Prajnesh Guneshwaran, who was the only Indian in the singles, had bowed out in the opening round. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. 13 CRPF and police personnel injured in IED blast by Naxals in Saraikela Kharsawa district of Jharkhand. Supreme Court refuses to direct UP police to conduct further probe in 2018 Hapur lynching case. Birth anniversary of freedom fighter Veer Savarkar being celebrated today. In the Maldives, former President Mohammad Nasheed unanimously elected Speaker of new Parliament. India to take on Bangladesh in final warm-up game of Cricket World Cup at Cardiff in a short while from now. And in French Open tennis, Rohan Bopanna to begin his doubles campaign today. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And with that, we end the midday news.